Time for rock news on 101.1 WJRR, Orlando's rock station. Let's check in with Lynch and Taco and see which rockers are making the headlines for all the right and wrong reasons. 101.1 WJRR.
All right, rock news brought to you this morning by the Orlando Science Center. We'll have some passes to give to you after this, if that is of interest. Good place to maybe take the kids, park the kids for a hot summer afternoon.
You got summer rolling up on us. It's perfect.
Congratulations, Sleep Token. They're even in Arcadia. Album tops the U.S. album chart. And again, this becomes the second hard rock release in 3 weeks to debut at number one on Billboard after a significant drought for that category of rock music to land at number one.
Love hearing that.
They land atop the Billboard Top 200 with first week sales of 127,000 album units, plus then all the streaming on top of that. Congrats, Sleep Token. Got them coming to Orlando. Sold out show. And I know we still have some tickets, last minute tickets between now and the show that you'll have a chance to win from us as well.
That's what I heard. Hey, when you just said streaming, don't forget we are running this live on our new camera setup here. If you want to check out Rock News,
Facebook Live right now. If you want to check that out, it's another. We talked about this yesterday. What a weekend for drummers. The Who fire drummer Zach Starkey for the second time in 2 weeks. Just after they announced this, farewell tour. Scott DeVores will be the replacement if you're familiar with Roger Daltrey's solo performances. Scott has drummed for him, so he knows the material, and it's Roger and Pete's hope that fans will welcome him. As far as Starkey says, he goes, I was fired 2 weeks after reinstatement and asked to make a statement saying I had quit the Who to pursue my other musical endeavors. This would be a lie.
Yeah.
I love the Who and would never had quit. He's with them for like 23 years. He said, I didn't make the statement, so that's it.
Wow.
And then there's the whole Josh Freese mystery with Foo Fighters. Of course, Josh, the journeyman drummer who has performed with lots of bands over the years, but never fired from any of them. He joined the band in May of 2023 as a replacement for the late Taylor Hawkins, who had passed away in 2022. Toured with the Foos in 2023 and 2024. Out of the blue over the weekend, they called him. And he was like, I had no idea this was coming. I don't know what I've done.
You've been in a band 23 years and they fire you over the phone?
No. What? This is on.
We're on to
Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters. Hey, is it becoming clear that it's going to be?
No, the hot rumor is that Shane Hawkins, the young son of the late Taylor Hawkins, will ultimately end up in that seat. We'll see.
I think it's a good fit.
Shane is doing some dates with Chevy Metal, the cover band that is out there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Josh has released, if you want to, his social media is pretty funny. He just put out a top 10 reasons why he might have been fired from the Foo Fighters. It's all kind of inside baseball stuff. So if you're familiar with the band, you'll get a kick out of that stuff. Okay, more Love on the Rocks in the Motley Crue camp. First, it was news that Tommy Lee and what's her name, Brittany Furlan had parted ways over Tommy's partying habits. That's the word on that. Now comes news that Motley Crue singer Vince Neil has dumped his longtime girlfriend Rain Hanna over suspicion she was cheating on him.
Really?
They've been together for 14 years, and the word is things went sideways when one of his assistants informed Vince that Rain had been having an affair. And apparently there's no proof that this is the case, but he was convinced nonetheless that I'm just going to end things with you after 14 years.
I just Google imaged her.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hello, Rain.
Yeah. Jane's Addiction, Dave Navarro, quote, no chance we'll ever play together again. Jane's Addiction, of course, all that stemming from the Boston beatdown incident in 2024.
That sucks, man, because I love Jane's Addiction.
It just sounds like the bridge has been burnt beyond repair with Perry Farrell. Dave's saying that over the weekend in an interview. This is kind of interesting. The New York Yankees will be handing out Billy Joel bobbleheads to the first 18,000 guests at their July 11th game against the Chicago Cubs. Billy Joel and Rod Stewart will perform at Yankee Stadium 7 days later on July 18th. That's cool.
Wow.
I can guarantee you there'll be a packed house that night the bobbleheads are given out. Nancy Wilson of Heart is singing Fight the Good Fight, which is one of the tunes on this new Triumph tribute album called Magic Power, coming out June 6th. Also on the release, that you can hear her doing that. That's available on YouTube now in advance of the album's release. Also on that, Slash, Dee Snider, and Sebastian Bach paying tribute to the Canadian Triumph. Great band. And some good news out of the Def Leppard world. Vivian Campbell, their guitarist, played his first show with the band in 8 months when they performed last Thursday in Puerto Rico following then Ocean City, Maryland this past weekend. He has been sidelined and undergoing a bone marrow transplant and recovery as part of his ongoing treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma. He hadn't played for them in like 8 months. So good for Vivian.
That bone marrow that is painful.
This kind of humor is from Guns N' Roses, and I gotta give Axl props for being a good guy about this. Mm-hmm. Guns N' Roses posted on their socials about a 59-second clip of highlights, or I guess you could say lowlights, of Axl tripping and falling during various concerts over the band's career. It's just titled "Welcome to the Jungle."
That is funny,
It's
dude.
fantastic. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Stolen from the grave of Jim Morrison 37 years ago, the bust of Jim Morrison has been recovered by French police who were, it was an unrelated fraud case that turned up the stolen bust of Morrison that had been ripped off from his grave, I think in 1988 or something. They finally found this thing, and will they put it back at the grave site? It doesn't sound like it, because I'm sure it would just be stolen again. But anyway, that's interesting. After all those years, that shows back up. Good job, French police. What else we got? Oh, Jerry Cantrell announcing a U.S. tour. And yes, we do have a date here in Orlando, August 27th at the House of Blues. Filter will be the opening act. Those tickets going on sale Thursday at 10 o'clock.
Wow, that's a kind of an odd combo. Filter and Cantrell, they've toured before?
Yeah, they've toured together before, so they're very familiar with one another. That's your rock news. You said we have some Orlando Science Center tickets to give away this morning.
Yes, we do. And again, we're just going to, what do you think this morning? Just take a random caller?
Yeah, so we'll clear the lines here and just take a stab here, Taco. Whoever is on the other end, we'll give them to you.
407-916-1011, Orlando Science Center passes for somebody.
Take the kids out there. Jump on it.
Orlando's rock station.